I'm 32 years old and work as a banker for a German-speaking bank. I live in the US and help with contracts and other business meetings with US companies. I make a nice bit of money and have earned 2 additional BA degrees and my MBA while being here in the US. I have a cousin in Europe who is a school teacher, and he is married to a woman who does not work. So you can imagine they don't have much expendable income for desires. Most of their income covers their necessities. Anyway, for future references, here are the abbreviations for the following scenario. EC equals entitled cousin. SP equals salesperson. Me equals, take a guess. Last Christmas, I took my girlfriend, now fiance, to Europe, and we did a small Euro trip to the typical Europe destinations, Paris, Munich, and London. While in Europe, we spent some time with my family there. I introduced her to my brother, grandparents, etc. I also encountered EC. Most conversations I had with him were always how tight money was for him, and he needed a new car. At that point, I didn't read too much into it because money was tight for a lot of my family in Europe. In one conversation, EC asked me to accompany him to a car dealership to check out some new cars. He wanted to upgrade the old rust bucket he was driving. I said, sure. I got my fiance and my sister-in-law an appointment to a premium beauty salon. Massage, manicures, pedicures, etc. While she was having fun, EC picked me up and we went to an authorized Jeep dealership. We walked around checking out the new models and whatnot, and even took models on a test drive. EC liked the Grand Cherokee, and SP explained the benefits and features, and what options there are to buy, finance, lease. So EC says he would want to buy the car, and SP started to prep the paperwork. While SP was doing that, we continued expecting his soon-to-be ride. The SP got us and said the paperwork was ready. This is the conversation that ensued. SP to EC. Here is the paperwork for buying the vehicle. Because you are a new customer, we need the check for the vehicle in advance and wait from the bank to confirm the costs will be covered. EC, no problem. Money won't be a problem. Here, me, take this. EC shoves the paperwork in front of me, and I assumed he wanted me to look it over to ensure everything looks fine. I read through the fine print, asked some follow-up questions, and concluded the contract seemed like a great deal. Me passed the paperwork back to EC. EC, why are you handing it back to me? Me, because it's your contract. EC, so I have to sign it? Me, yes, it's your deal. EC, okay. He signs the paperwork and hands it back to SP. SP, good. Now, if I could have the check so our finance department can call the bank to confirm the funds are available. EC to me, give SP a check. Me, excuse me? EC, write him a check. Me, no. EC, what do you mean? You are rich and here to buy the car. Why else do you think you are here? Me, 1. Why should I buy you a car? 2. I'm here because you asked me to be here and to go car shopping. I assume to help you with getting a good deal. EC, I don't have the money to buy a car like this. It's Christmas and I want this car. Now write him a check and let's go. Me, I don't care what you want. I'm not buying this car for you. You want it, you have to buy it. EC is getting angry and says, I can't believe how greedy you are. You work for XYZ Bank and make 5 times the salary I do. You need to pay for this car. Me, you are correct. I make 5 times more money than you, and that is even before my yearly bonus. And just because I make and have more money doesn't mean I am obligated to buy you or anyone else in our family anything. EC, listen to me. I need a new car. You have spare income. I don't. So be a good family member and write a check. You gave our uncle 5k euros to buy a car. How is this any different? Me, our uncle takes care of our grandmother, aka his mother, and as a thanks to him for doing that, I sent him that money to help him buy a new car that lowered his monthly expenses and was safer for our grandmother to ride in. EC, so you have the money to pay for this car? Me, in theory, yes, I have the funds to buy 3 of these cars if I wanted to, but I will not write a check for this car, not now or ever. EC, write this check or I will sue you. SP steps in. Gentlemen, it appears that I won't be getting a check here today. EC, you will get a check. He is going to write one now. Me to SP. It appears that EC brought me here under false pretenses, and since he does not have the funds necessary for the purchase of this vehicle, He wasted your time and mine. I am telling you, you will not receive a check from me. If a check is written today, it will be one of EC's. EC, stop being so selfish. Buy the car now. Me, duck you, EC. We are through here. SP is annoyed and asks me to please leave and tells EC to get out and to never come back again. EC, no, I'm taking that Jeep and me is going to pay for it. SP to EC, you will leave now or our legal department will sue you for breach of contract. EC, what contract? SP shows him the signed contract and says, the one you just signed. You have 30 seconds or I will call the police and have you arrested. EC gets up and leaves, shouting and yelling. SP turns to me. Did he really expect you to just buy him a new car? Me, I guess so. I know I've caused you a lot of trouble and feel free to say no, but may I use your phone to call my uncle so I can get picked up? SP, no problem, sir. Would you like a coffee while we wait? Me, thank you, but I already cost so much of your time and money. There's no need. SP, please, sir, I insist. I am as baffled as you are. My uncle said he would be there in a few minutes, and SP and I sat down to a cup of coffee and talked about what just happened. He asked if his legal department should pursue this matter or if they should just forget about the incident. I told him EC didn't have a lot of money and that they most likely would never see a penny from him. Maybe I should have told them to sue. It's been 3 months since I heard from EC, and the majority of our family took my side on the matter. As a thank you to my uncle and grandmother, I bought them plane tickets to the US, first class, and suites for the wedding in the fall. And I believe it goes without saying that EC and his wife and parents are not invited to my wedding. Did your cousin's parents try to defend their son's actions? Yes, they had the same opinion. Because I can afford it, I should pay. I just received a call from my uncle in Europe. If you read the previous post, you know who that is. He called to inform me that my entitled cousin really filed a lawsuit against me, apparently for breach of contract. To clarify, I never signed anything stating I will buy him a car, and I also never said I would. But he still filed because he is saying we had an oral agreement and that I told him I would. I called the local police station, and these cops are truly stupid. Not saying the police in general are stupid, just this precinct. So I called them to inquire if it is true, and the cop on the phone confirmed that EC has filed a police report. The cop then asked me to come to the station today to give my statement. I told him that is impossible, and as I was going to explain to him that I live in the USA, he interrupted me, saying I had to come down when the police request you to show. Here is this conversation. P is police officer. M, take a guess. P, Mr. Me, I need you to come to the station so we can take your official statement. M, that is impossible, officer. You see, P, sir, when the police gives the request, you have to show up to give your statement. Otherwise, we have the authority to arrest you for evading official police business. M, officer, I literally can't make it. You see, I live... P, what is your full name, sir? Me gives him my full legal name. P, date of birth. Me gives him date of birth. P, social security number. Me gives him my European social security number. To clarify, the social security number in Europe is not linked to your finances. It is linked to your health insurance and is just as unique as the social security number here in the US. Now, I haven't used that number in 9 years, and the account has no mailing address anymore. This is important for next part of the convo. P, sir, I can't find a current address. It is unlawful not to have your primary legal residence registered. What is your current address? And you will be fined for not keeping your records up to date. M, may I speak now, or are you going to continue to cut me off? P, watch your tone, sir, or you'll be fined for disrespect of law enforcement. At this point, I was fed up with this moron and gave him my Sesame Street address here in the States, and he actually said to me that the given address is not existent in Europe. M, my address is XYZ Sesame Street, X state. Sir, this is your final warning. Give me your legal address here in Europe, or we will send out an APB for your persona. At this point, I just snapped. It was freaking 3 a.m., and I have to deal with someone who probably never left his state, probably even his country. M, Listen here, you muppet. I live in the I didn't say freaking though, United States of America, and have been for the past 9 years. For the past 10 minutes, I've been trying to explain to you that it is physically impossible for me to show up at your station, simply because I won't buy a last-minute ticket, spend thousands of dollars, just so I can tell you my side of the dispute. Now, if you and your backwoods police station want to buy me a ticket and pay room and board, I will be happy to get on a plane. Or, I will give you my side over the phone, and you can fax me the papers to my office, and I will sign the statement and send it back to you. Your choice. P. Oh, I understand. Well, okay then. Please tell me what happened and we will finish up via fax. After he finally understood what the problem was, I gave him my statement and asked him if he knows for how much my evil entitled cousin is suing me for. And here's the kicker. He is suing me for the loss of the car's value, emotional stress, and loss of income, because apparently his rust bucket died a month ago and he couldn't make it to work. He is suing me for roughly $140,000, $80K for the car, $3K for loss of income, and $57K for emotional stress. My uncle has a friend whose son is a lawyer, and he is willing to take my case. My uncle also drove to the Jeep dealership to talk to the sales rep who was present when EC demanded the car. He said he will testify in my defense. Now, I thought not to take care of this situation and just say F it. But since the country my family lives in is part of the UE, and I don't want to get arrested the next time I land in Germany, Austria, or Paris, I am forced to deal with this. I know this is just a cruel tactic of my cousin trying to get me to buying him that car, but not with me. After this, I'm done with him and his side of the family. I have a business trip coming up next week in Switzerland and will stay a little longer to deal with this situation in person. Thanks for reading and have a great day, hopefully better than mine. I just got off the phone with my lawyer. He told me that the case most definitely will go to court and will not be dismissed. As I understand, there is a ruling in place that if a complaint claims a monetary reimbursement over 120k euros, it has to go to trial. This also explains how my EC came up with those arbitrary numbers. To clarify, 140k USD is roughly 122 to 125k euros, depending on the exchange rate. However, there is hopeful news. My lawyer knows my EC's lawyer, and he told me that his firm had a few cases against him and that EC's lawyer lost them all. He is very optimistic that he can pressure my Nimrod of a cousin to withdraw the claims when the trial starts. I will speak with my lawyer on Wednesday again and hopefully have an update by then. Thank you all for your support. My lawyer talked with the prosecutor's office and set up an appointment for a questioning session on Monday. He also talked with my cousin's lawyer, and his cousin is willing to resolve the matter privately instead of in front of a judge. EC's lawyer said they would be satisfied with the payment of 100,000 euros. Naturally, my lawyer said F no, which I told him to do. I'll burn my money before giving EC 1 cent. In addition, EC's lawyer hasn't provided enough evidence, while my lawyer sat with the sales rep of Jeep in the prosecutor's office to give a statement. He is also more confident that the case will be dropped by the prosecutor's office, because EC's lawyer's only piece of evidence is EC's word. Now he asked me if anyone was sitting with me and EC when I apparently gave him my word for buying him a car. Sadly, no, it was just me and EC. He is also preparing a lawsuit against my cousin, for when the lawsuit against me is dropped or won. It seems that this whole thing will be over soon, and the majority of my family is on my side. My grandmother is split because she fears this matter is tearing the family apart, and I forgive her for not avoiding EC and his side of the family. However, she is 86 years old and just wants to live the rest of her days in peace. I hope to have this matter resolved in the next 2 weeks. I have other things to worry about, my wedding, and I still haven't figured out why I'm so nervous and scared about getting married. Wow, he took it to a whole other level. Yep, he sure has. After this case gets dismissed or I win, I will sue him for slander and filing a false police report and whatever else my lawyer can think of. This whole thing has me all riled up. Damn, man, this is next level entitlement. Entitled people are going to do whatever it takes just to get something they wanted. It's just simply hard for them to accept defeat.